Well, welcome to another episode, Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, man. It is always a blessing when I'm in the studio once again. We're at my buddy's Hub Shop and Suits by Soldier, and we're down here on a Friday afternoon with my buddy J-Dog. We taking this program, man. I sure appreciate you. I thank you, my good friend Herbert Burnett, a.k.a. Coach Hub, a.k.a. Minister Hub, a.k.a. Soldier Hub, Sergeant Hub. What's going on with you, man? I love you.
Man, it's good to be in the land of the living. So many people didn't make it to 2021, and we here. Happy New Year. He got about 3 pages of notes, so I'm gonna just shut up right now, and hopefully we can get through a couple of those pages. Thank you for the viewing audience, for always supporting us. People come up to us. I feel like a celebrity sometimes, but we just trying to let the truth be told and give God the glory.
Well, you know, I appreciate that, Hub. You know, one of the things, and I'm glad that God allowed you to come back into the community, and it's only right for you to team up, partner up, and to work together, because that's what we're going to be talking about. Part of the session about teaming up, partnering up, group economics, and all of those things. Yeah, putting it all together, man. Mm-hmm. You know, getting in that kitchen and putting it all together, man. Hey, show today, man, is a change is gonna come. Mm-hmm. God dropped that in my spirit real quick before we jumped onto the taping of the program, and so a change is gonna come, Brother Hub. You know.
Just bear with us. He didn't know I was going to do this, but this is, this is where he got that from. A change is going to come. Yeah, we just going to play a little
Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke.
Some Sam Cooke.
I learned this on his radio program.
Oh, man, you got to make me get my mic out. You can hear it? Okay. All right.
Ever since, it's been a long time coming.
Hey. A change gonna come. A change gonna come. Okay, kill it.
Yes, sir.
Because it's funny how time flies when we having fun. You know, Sam Cooke, that took me all the way back, Brother Hub, to last night when I played some Isaac Hayes in one of the lives that we was taping.
Shaft.
You know, and so and we was playing Shaft, you know, and I kind of gave everybody the overview of what that looked like, right? The Watts riots had happened, 1967. Then they ended up Isaac, you know, they tore up Watts, they tore up their own neighborhood, and then Isaac Hayes, he heard about it. He had a bunch of people on his team, Richard Pryor. He had, I think, Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. All of them were attached to Stack Records, and so they were getting money. And so when Isaac went out to L.A., he went to Watts. He tried to rent a Coliseum in Watts. The guy that owned the place said, "Hey, man, you don't have enough money to rent this here." Isaac Hayes said, "Go to the trunk guys, get that money." They brought that money in there, and dude said, "I don't care how much money you got, you can't rent this." So then he ended up going to L.A. Coliseum, and that's where they did their concert, their benefit concert, and that goes back to a change is gonna come. It's gonna take some people that's gonna have to step up, get outside of their bodies, get outside of your comfort zone, and start doing some different things. And I think we've been able to do that this year. Thank God for the toy drive that we had going on, and you know, and not all the time it's our vision.
Right.
You know, it don't got to be our vision.
Right.
You know, we just bring our resources to the table.
I call it's not your ability, it's your availability.
Yeah.
And if you can make yourself available to help someone with their vision, boy, God can get some glory.
Man, and that's really what it's all about.
And it's not easy, because one of my friends, Tony Brown, was in here with me, and he saw me counting tickets and making sure the money out, taking phone calls. He said, "Man, that's knocking you off from your daily thing, man. You don't need to take on no more of them." And everything he said was right. But what I told him, if you take care of God business, boy, he got yours.
Man, what you talking about?
He'll have you wear a hat and then sell it.
Man, That's an inside joke. That's an inside joke. You know, too much is received, much is required. And so I like to spread myself thin a lot of times, you know, because it's hard for the devil to hit a moving target. And so being able to be available to help folks, I mean, I think that's a great thing. And so so a lot of times, you know, folks say, man, you always busy, you this, you that, slow down, this, that, and other, you know. And I heard the young lady say that earlier, you know, about her time, you know. Man, we got plenty of time to sleep, because when we die, we're going to have plenty of time to sleep, you know. And I think the Bible always talks about that, you know, work while there is day, you know, because nighttime comes and no man can work.
And the key is, 2 words came to me: purpose. Boy, when you're in your purpose, people can tell. I'll never forget, I was going on an Army base, and you see you got the gate guards. You just can't drive through. The gate guards got to wave you in. And you just see them doing this. And one day I saw a guy, he had his white gloves on and he was doing this, and man, but you could tell. Now he in his purpose. He in his purpose. And you could tell what a person in their purpose look like. Because it's natural.
I just seen a couple crossing guards, police crossing guards, and they having fun with it. I just seen some guys down here for This Is It furniture or something, and they just having fun with it. I seen a guy jogging one time, and he just getting it, and he having a good time with his earphones on, and he having a good time. He in his purpose, he working, you know. And so that's what we got to be. We got to be working, and I think we've been dropping the ball on it, but we're gonna get into some other stuff. Man, it's been some things going on. I know this week has been amazing. We've had some amazing things happen, and then we had some tragical things happen, right? We saw some things right before our eyes. So, you know, amazing thing on Tuesday, January the 6th, the Senators run off down there in Atlanta. I talked to my brother over and over again because they had a tie, and so they had to do a runoff. And so the 2 senators down in Georgia, and so the Democratic senators won, and now we're in charge of the House and the Senate in Washington, D.C. So big shouts out to Stacey Abrams and all of those folks that partnered and teamed up to make a difference, because they got outside of their comfort zones and did things different.
Now, didn't she lose a race?
She lost the governor's race down there.
So she didn't take a ball and go home?
No, she didn't get mad. She didn't get mad. She changed the game. This is the way she got her lick back. You know, when we was over at the detention center talking to the young man, the young man said, if he get backdoored, somebody in trouble.
Yeah, he gonna murk him.
He gonna murk him. Yeah. And we explained to him what backdooring is, and we explained to him how to get your lick back. And you get your lick back by more studying, more studying. Be more well prepared, you know, for next time. So she went back to the lab.
Right.
She went back to the lab. She strategically set up all kinds of stuff over Georgia, so that and boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. And changed the whole dynamics. They never had an African American senator out of Georgia ever. You know, ever. The Democrats hadn't won since like 2000. Even Democrats hadn't won. So after that happened, President Donald Trump, you know, he's been like a little kid, you know, that can't get his way. And so what he did is he rallied all of his folks, the what they call them, what's the name of their group? The Lost Boys, the Proud Boys, the Lost Boys, the Good Old Boys. He rallied those folks together, you know, with all kind of cold words and all that, and invited them to come to Washington, D.C. And I put up that morning, Brother Hub, I put up the thing, pray for D.C., you know, on was that Wednesday? Was that Tuesday? That was Tuesday. That was the same day. And so I said, pray for D.C. They're going to need your prayers, because I anticipated that this was going to happen. And so they had the Trump riots. He rallied his guys together. He had a Trump speech. Giuliani had a Trump speech. Donald Trump Jr. had a Trump speech and told him, hey, man, you got to get tough. You got to fight power with power. You got to go down there. We going to go down there, march down there to the Capitol building while those guys checking out the electoral votes, and we finna kick some butt.
Well, a few people lost their life. You know what?
4 people.
Honestly, when I was
law enforcement officer,
when I was talking to you, what just came to me is, Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I ask you to bless Donald Trump. I ask you to regulate his heart, his soul, and his mind. And Lord, protect him from himself, Lord, because he needs you and he deserves to know the same God that I know. In Jesus' name, amen. Because he might lose it. I'm talking about he might lose it for real.
That is why. So that's why. I often talk to people, right? And I've told some folks over the time period, look, man, sometimes you got to be the bad guy. When you love somebody and you care about something, so the people that are surrounding him, they enabling him to do the things he's doing instead of stepping up and saying, look, it's bigger than you, man. It's all about the American people and the Constitution.
They letting him get on national TV with boogers in his nose and mustard all on his collar, and ain't telling him.
Saying crazy stuff. I mean, he read off a concessional speech yesterday, but it was written by a speechwriter, and you can tell it wasn't his words because he stumbled all through the speech, and right before that. Before they shut you down on Twitter, took all your toys away. You was just talking about the election is rigged and false and phony and all this.
And so that goes back to what we was talking about with the traffic guys. By him reading that, you could tell it wasn't
he had his purpose.
That wasn't his purpose.
He was pushing. Sometimes privilege. So we haven't had a lot of that. I mean, we had the blood, sweat, tears, beg. What you did was just pray, lay hands on it, fast, all kinds of things to get that blessing. Some folks just born into privilege in some areas. And so that's why it's important to have a team. And you have to be humble and wise as a serpent to respect the people on the team and the opinions on the team. So they tell you, man, you got dirt on your shirt. Nah, I ain't got no dirt on my shirt.
Now, did he turn against Pence?
He did. He put him on this. What he did was put him on the spot. Making people think that he can overturn the election. When that is just a formality, ceremonial. What Pence is going to do to, ceremonial in there and count the electoral votes and then say, hey, the next president of the United States is Joe Biden. He wins. Him and Kamala Harris, and receive them in with open arms into the chambers. That's what's supposed to happen. Love is the only thing that's going to be able to last and bring calmness. And those are the things that should be centered around into your decision making, especially when it's for somebody else. Treat people. God, the Bible talks about honor thy God. And treat others as you would want them to treat you. And those are two commandments and two mandates. The rest of them are gonna fall into place if you follow them too. But he has no respect of that. He had the Bible upside down. He had Latinos locked up in cages. He disrespected everybody on the international platform. He's let Putin be able to run around the world and do whatever he wanted to do. China's then don't even respect him. So they doing stuff. And so it's going to be so hard right now. But what I want to get into for the African-American community, what I'm going to bring back for the African-American community, because I've been putting a lot of stuff out, a lot of material out, Brother Hud. God told me, keep getting the material, keep it back to back to back. As I learn, pour it out, give it away. So we doing some amazing things with the stock market. I appreciate your mom, your dad, Bishop and Sister Underwood, letting us use the church on Saturdays. We got some amazing things going on with our stock market class. We got some amazing things that we're partnering doing over at the Youth Detention Center. Big shouts out to you, Julia Reese. Big shouts out to you, Keith, over there, rolling the red carpet out for us. Big shouts out to the moms, the dads, the kids even over there.
Now, what I think the guards and Keith, I think what they was really impressed with is how many parents you knew.
Yeah.
I mean, when you said raise your hand if you know I've been talking to your mom, and like 70% of the hands went up. I mean, that was impressive. That's engagement. That's relationship. And I think that's why we've had some early success. That's why I think we can go in there and do vision boards. So when they leave there, they'll be able to remember what their goals was. Because you could talk a good game, but as soon as you get out, and get with your friends, then
back to the
monkey
same
see,
old
monkey
thing.
do. But if you have a vision board on your door or your refrigerator that you created, that you made, that you bought into, then it might help you to say, man, I said I wasn't going to do that. I was going to do this. So I'm really excited.
You know,
that's probably one of the most exciting things that I got going in my life is the youth detention center right now.
You know, Brother Hub, one of the most amazing things, and I'm glad that you got your non-for-profit. And what's the name of your non-for-profit?
Not on my watch.
And you, along with me and a few others, Bishop Greer over there, and a few other folks that's centered around us, man. Not on our watch, man. And so we've been able to do some stuff together. You doing some amazing stuff right now because you know we just had a young lady that was murdered in the community. She left 4 children back, and so another young lady came over and said, hey, look, I want to raise some money. She knew the go-to guy. Right. That didn't say I don't got enough time for this.
Shout out to Tina
and all
Myers.
of that.
Tina Myers,
you know, you know, and, and the guy put it on her heart, but she probably didn't have the relationships or the resources to be able to get out here. She knew the guys to come to, and you were able to get that done. And so now you're going to be a blessing to those children. Nothing can replace their mom. Man. You know. And
you know what, Sean? I got some notes, but I really don't need them about that. I didn't know Lisa. I didn't know her. Tina didn't know her. So one of the ladies that we went with the toy drive inboxed me to say, man, thank you, Lord, thank y'all for doing that. And so I said, oh, you knew her? She said, I was the first one to know her in town. So she was able to hook me up with the son. The son hooked me up with the granddad. And so now I've been talking to the granddad every day, and Tina's talked to the granddad and the grandma. And so this thing is I'm putting it on. Like you put on a jacket, I'm putting it on. We're doing a fundraiser. The goal is $2,000. It's going to be in the News Gazette, Saturday's paper. And they already took the boys back, 4 boys back in North Carolina. So it's not like we raising this money to do the funeral. All that has been taken care of. But what my angle on it, and this is just my angle is that we want to represent Champaign-Urbana. One thing as an Army recruiter, my boss told me, no matter whether you get the contract or not, you always leave on a positive note. And her getting murdered here doesn't have to be the last word. You know, although she was murdered, Champaign showed up. They sent us money. When it got time for me and the dad talk, granddad talk, when it get time for the kids to go to college, man, we set up a little something. I don't know what God's gonna do, but I know that he is very grateful. Very grateful.
Hopefully that can be in an investment account. It can grow over the years. And you know, one of the young men, he was part of our Goal Getters program. You know, and so I mean, what I'm saying on that, man, is when one of us are hurt, when you dealing with the group, you know. And you really want to see change. You really want to see some things happen, you know. You got to be a part of that change.
You got to be.
You got to be a participant, a part of that change. And so just to be able to figure out what that looks like, you got to be a participant. And even if you don't come with a whole lot of ideas, you know, just come and sit in the room. You know, get on a Zoom video call. You know, get on the radio, listen to the radio. Just be a participant so that you're a participant with the stuff that we got going on in the community, you know. I mean, big shouts out to the News Gazette and the folks that's partnering with us, WCIA, all of those folks that jump out and do different things to bring us resources, you know, and their assistance. You know, one of the things I've been really trying to drive home is this, Hub. You know, stimulus monies came, so everybody's waiting on $600, you know, and so with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden getting in office, and one of the things that he said is that the African American community showed up for me, and I'm gonna show out for the African American community. So what that meant to me is this: after we have to sit down for another 60 days to be to clear this COVID-19 up, and this new strand of COVID-19, because we're not disciplined enough in America to sit down on our own. So a good leader would understand that. We the free world. You know, nobody, when you've been overseas, nobody around the world move around like Americans do. You know, and so we're not used to not going out on a Friday. We're not used to not going out to eat. We're not used to going to a corner store that's open 24 hours a day. You know, we used to that. Right. You know, and so in other countries they don't have that. You know, things are very limited. So they can sit down. Their whole economy sit down at 7, 8 o'clock at night. We up all night long, and Lord don't be in Las Vegas. It's the city that don't sleep.
No clock. Operation No Clock.
I looked out my hotel room window, looked downstairs, and outside, man, it was a traffic jam at 4 in the morning. So, you know, it's hard to get out of that fast-moving mode, and even the business owners that get that revenue, it's hard for them to try to change even what they do. And so I look at us being able to sit down for 60 days. We need to rethink, relearn, retrain during that time frame. Now, what I've been doing is I've been telling the folks on my lives is this, and I'm telling you guys in our viewing audience is this: get you an LLC. Whether I don't know what business that you might like, but I've been explaining and breaking it down that your life is really an LLC. LLC's been limited liability corporation or sole proprietorship, but your life is that anyway. So with your social security number and this, that, and other, but the government just do not recognize you as solely being a business, right? So get you a business. I don't care if it's a lemonade stand, because when they open this purse up, it's gonna be money to start a business. You gotta have a business idea. It's gonna be money to get back in business. You know, they gonna give money to banks to be able to partner with the folks that they partner with that's affiliated with the bank. So you don't have to worry about just getting the $600 or the $2,000 that's cut off, and stop trying to beat the system. Okay, you don't have to scramble. Be more proactive. You know, let's get more proactive, and we don't have to be scrambling at the end trying to finagle the system when we already set up. You know, and so get your LLC set up. You got to go to my live and for me to break all that down to you, because I don't got enough time on this program to really break all that down to you about going to the Secretary of State's office and stuff like that. Inbox me. I'll break it down to you, explain to you, because God giving me the information to give it back to you. And so setting your LLCs up, you know, being able to get in business, sustaining businesses that have been able to survive during COVID, right? I mean, I lost a business during COVID, but I channeled my frustrations in other areas. And so, so it's been exciting. It's been an exciting ride for me. Thank God that all my family members have been safe, besides one cousin down in Memphis. You know, but the rest of my family's been protected from COVID-19. Not everybody's been beneficial like that, man. A lot of people. You know, 350,000 people. You know, have died from COVID. You know, and so our president haven't even mentioned COVID in the last 3 months. That just show you he's not working in purpose. He doesn't have love in his heart. You got to be real selective. I mean, I know a lot of people select people because of the fact of one benefit. Man, you know, he gonna get us the stock market up. But what about the other things? What other ingredients do he have inside of his heart? Inside of his heart.
You gotta have some more substance.
You know, inside of his heart. And when I say heart, it's here, spirit, but it's here. As a man thinketh,
so is he.
As a man thinketh,
so is he.
Man, come on. Come on. So you got to be able to, and it cannot be, you want others to treat you like you treat yourself. But you got to get that out. And like I told the young man at the detention center, man, if you grab that, he said, every day I walk outside my house, I grab my strap, my thumper, my weapon. He put it on him. And I said, young man, let me tell you something. Even if you go take something from somebody, you rob them, you get away. It's never yours, because God is in charge of blessings. You'll lose that so fast you won't even know how it went. Man, where did money go? Because it wasn't yours. God is in charge of blessings. And so we have to understand that, but you got to be prepared. We talk about heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. Well, heaven on earth. It's a prepared place for prepared people. But you got to be willing to walk into your purpose and be prepared when the opportunity comes.
So the change is going to come.
The change going to come.
And we got to be prepared for the change.
The change and the change.
The change and the change going to come. My grandmama called it greenback. And so one of the things you mentioned that I watch you do when your club closed, you were able to pivot. As a basketball coach, we teach our kids in order to not travel, you got to be able to pivot. And pivot, man, might mean you have to go another direction. You might have to go a whole different lane, right? So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. But going back to the detention center, man, it's saddening how our young people are getting duped and tricked. Because I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, man, these kids, they ain't no monsters. You know, they're not monsters at all. I see a lot of good in them. But when you do monster things, you said, one lady told you, Sean, my son was a good kid. Well, he wasn't good that night, you know. And so we have to, like you mentioned earlier, be proactive and putting kids in situations where they can make the right decision, you know. Putting kids in situations where they can make the right decisions. I was selling tickets here, and I left the money, I left the tickets, and I left everything, but I knew what I had. But I was trying to see what my help was on. This guy I got working with me, he's in the program, and they asked me, could he work, you know, to learn entrepreneurship? I said, sure, right? So I left that out. I left the money out in the box and the tickets, but I knew what I had. But he didn't know I knew. And so I left it out all day. Wasn't nobody in there but me and him. I made sure no customers didn't go nowhere near. But I let him handle it. I let him handle the money, and then at the end of the night, I counted it, right? Before he left, right? But it worked out good. But you gotta set them up to make the right decisions. In order to do that, they might make a poor decision. And then you jump right on it. And so it's moved my compassion. Being in the detention center has moved my compassion and my motivation to prove the world wrong about these kids, man. Because I know. But if I know and dude don't know, then I don't really know. Right? So the other thing we have to do is reinvent ourselves, right? We have to train the trainer so we can have 10 or 15 Seans, the mentorship, running around here and looking for key ingredients like discipline, compassion. One of the guys supposed to work with me, he texted me and said, I'm running late. I said, don't come. I don't know what you're used to wherever you are, but if you're supposed to be at 9, to start working, you need to be here at 10 till, taking off your coat, getting your mind working.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But obviously he's been allowed to do that somewhere. But not on my watch.
See, and you went down the road I was going to go down. A tree is known by its fruit. You know, I've had folks say, where did they get this from? Where did they get this from? And I heard folks say, you know, with the different groups that they got, you know, the Wootski clan and, you know, all these different groups, you know, from guys then died and they then started their own mobs, right? So I was talking to my brother-in-law today when we was riding over there to go pick that truck up from my dad. And so we started talking about back in the day, we had all these different groups and we forget what we did. Now, we wasn't violent and have all this stuff going on, but what happened, we had groups back in the day, PPIs,
Deuce Patrol,
there you go.
IPAs.
You gonna roll the GGIs, you know.
So,
and it was
Lakeside had they had a name.
And it was little dance groups and party groups, but we didn't have the violence going on back then. You know, it might be a knuckle up fight, you know, because you know PPIs, they wanted to be the toughest stuff, you know, and they want everybody to be on their team, you know what I'm saying, PPIs and them. But you know, But the kids now, with the ingredients that they got and the stuff that's downloaded within their spirits, right?
Is he trying to spend some money?
That's downloaded in the stuff that's downloaded in their spirits, you know, with the availability of guns, the availability of alcohol, the availability of drugs, and all that stuff. And the music that they listen to. The music is leading them like zombies to go do some dumb stuff. And I explained that to the kids, is that, man, you getting tricked.
You're getting tricked.
And have you ever been tricked before?
Right.
I said, I've been tricked before. My first time I got tricked was when they told me Santa Claus coming into a housing authority house. We ain't even got I'm looking at Charlie Brown Christmas and all this here. They got fireplace, all this. How Santa get in? That was my question at five years old. How does Santa get in? Oh, he got a key. Then my brother and them, you know, they had to bust your bubble. So my brother Joe and Cecilia and them get together. Ain't no Santa Claus. You know, mama got all this stuff, you know, and bust you. Man, you tricked me.
You tricked me.
But that's what's happening to all of us. Trump supporters. You got tricked. Then he get on there and say, "Oh, you're gonna get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law." Man, did you just tell us we going down here and knock some windows out? Now you want to you want to do what you've been doing, is walk your statements back so you don't get in no trouble.
He had to read the script.
You know, now you got to get presidential while everybody else got to go get prosecuted.
Right.
Ain't that crazy?
Right.
You know, I told the kids, the record label, they sending you off.
Yeah.
They just sent you off.
Right.
And they started getting millions and millions. Well, say kill him 10 more times. Yeah. And it's $1 million for every kill him that they say 10 more times. And now he walk away with 10 more extra million and walk away with the bag. He had a Bentley shop somewhere, at a 5-star hotel eating good. And you and your mama over here, one shoe on, one shoe off, and you over the detention center, and she trying to scrap up all the change to get you a good lawyer. Man, come on, man. You been tricked. You been duped. You been hoodwinked, bamboozled. All in one nutshell. And when I walk into that atmosphere and I look at them kids, I see babies. I see all of our kids. I don't even know them personally, some of them. But it's a certain spirit. Remember I told you, I said, man, it's a spirit that just came over me. A spirit, a humbling spirit, a anointing, touching spirit came over me. Compassion and empathy. To do whatever I can do, man.
And shout out to Keith again at the detention center. Just a wall of trust has been built to the point to where we just rolling, man. Yeah. And that says a lot about him, and it says a lot about us. Real talk. And so you titled this "A Change Is Gonna Come," and in order for the change to come, we got to renew our mind, right? And we got to have like a paradigm shift. And when I say paradigm,
come on, man,
I'm reminded of the disciples when they had fished all night long.
Boy, you done took my stuff.
Go ahead, tell it.
Go ahead, you got it, man.
Man, they had fished. The disciples had fished all night long, and Jesus said, "Come on, Jesus, ain't no fish, man. We've been fishing all night long," and nevertheless, Jesus told them, "Cast your nets to the other side."
I'm gonna show you I ain't lying.
Yeah, but that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Come on, man.
He said, "Cast your nets to the other side," right? And so. Come on, Jesus, we do this. We fishermen. We Crystal Lake All-Americans. We Kaufman All-Americans.
We got steak bait.
Yeah. And so, but nevertheless, because you Jesus, we going to switch sides. And man, they said the nets, plural, was full. And so you have to change your mindset. You have to look at it from a different angle. You have to look at it from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm evaluating my life, and I understand where I'm going, and I know I'm be walking in the office of a pastor, and so I gotta watch. I can't just reckless let anything come out my mouth like I have in the past, because I'm trying to build bridges with these guys, and I can't be building and beating at the same time. Right. So I'm checking myself to make sure that I'm building and not tearing down.
That's why you got to have a team.
Yes, sir.
That's why you got to have a team.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that's
sir.
why you got to have a team, man.
Yes,
you can't
sir.
be the plumber, the carpenter,
Yes,
the
sir.
drywall man, the
Yes,
roofer,
sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
the electrician.
Yes,
you
sir.
everything.
Yeah.
You good.
Right.
They call that they call it a master of all, what they call
Jack
it?
of all
a jack of all
trades,
trade and a master of none.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you explained it to it in pivot in basketball language, you know. And a lot of times when we're going into like stock market investment, new adventures, we don't understand the language. It's foreign. And that's some of the things that we've learned in community work. This is newfound territory. And it's a lot that's going on in folks' lives. You've been doing the same old thing expecting a different result. And you can't get it that way. So community leaders and leaders that's out there that run organizations, it's time to rethink, redo, you know, and then do. We've been stuck in the huddle so long, is what you call it.
Right.
Stuck in the huddle so long that we become no blame good to nobody, because we still stuck in the huddle, going over the play and never make a move. And so I wrote on my paper, you know, I got my Nike outfit, thanks to Suits by Soldier, you know, I got my Nike outfit on, you know, $20 hollers, and so they cost a little bit more than that. But you know, and so, but Nike got a slogan to say, just do it.
Just do it.
And so what that made me think about is all these different Zoom meetings, after Zoom meetings and meetings before COVID-19, where I'm just meeting after meeting just to have another meeting to set the next meeting up. And we steady watching record number gun violence. We steady watching record number kids not graduating. We watching, you know, violence, you know, violence in the homes and mental health issues and everything else. Man, just go on and jump in.
And here's the thing. I put on Facebook today, you're winning at whatever you committed to, good or bad. You winning. And so whatever you aim, you gotta, what you aiming at.
Yeah.
If you aiming at nothing, you gonna hit nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And so we have to make sure that what our aim is. What's your why?
Yeah, what's your why? What's your
work
why?
That, work that.
What's your why?
Yeah,
what's your why? You know,
give 'em a little bit of that. What's your why?
So when we train our insurance agents, we train them and we teach them to always put so you talked about vision boards. Your why should be a part of your vision boards. This is why. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, I'm trying to go there, I'm trying to be here in 5 years, I'm trying to be here in 10 years. The problem is we don't have a why, we don't know where we're trying to aim to. We don't know no direction. We got no direction. So like the young kids say, when I say, man, what you got going on? Nothing. We got nothing going on. And nothing from nothing leads to
nothing. And see that, but that's where we got to come in. And I'm talking. The first word came to me is educators, but educators and anybody who's gonna be around kids. You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. But my mama say you can put oats in their mouth and create a thirst.
Yeah.
You gotta help them with their why. You gotta show them the reason why they don't need to be out there with the guns. You gotta show them a reason why they don't need to be out there popping mollies and drinking and then listen to that music and then want to go murk somewhere. You gotta help them, man. Their brain don't develop till about 22, 23. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's the parent's job. Everybody knows it's the parent's job. But so if the parents ain't doing their job, we just gonna let it go like it's going now, right? My wife was working on something, a parent university, right? You got to teach the parents. You teaching the kids and they going right back to the parents and the parents don't know, then the parents ain't gonna be able to enforce what you teaching.
Right.
So you got to get to the parents, and oh, by the way, in order to get to the parents, you got to have relationships.
Right, right.
I just graduated and got my teacher certification, man. But I ain't finna go in no classroom with no 3 or 4 kids. I'm too valuable.
Yeah.
I'm too valuable for that to be sitting in the classroom talking to 3 or 4, 5, 6 kids. I need to be at the top level.
Yeah.
I need to be next to the superintendent making some stuff happen.
Yeah.
And so either I do that or I start my own school.
You know, Brother Hub, one of the things that I was thinking about when you was just saying that and covering that is that your motives got to be pure.
Your motives got to be pure.
Your motives got to see.
Because the kids know if they ain't.
And
the kids know if they ain't.
We got.
Sean, I told the kids, I'm anointed to be here. I know you're going to feel what I'm saying. Because God, I've been trying to get in the detention center for 2 years, and I'm here now. So let the record, I'm anointed to be here, young man. But they feel the love. They feel the love.
Trying to get at you. Been trying to get at you, man.
And then when I shut up and you finish it off, good night, Irene. Because I'm kind of like the, y'all saw my mama come out there, and then, boy, you know Evelyn had to come out. That's my mama. But what I'm saying, Sean, is I come bringing gifts, and then you come.
I'm getting you what the same way they've been giving it out.
That's how you giving it out.
That's the way I'm giving it.
Yeah, but the ground is already planted and ready for you to just throw some haymakers. And you come
that
with
sound good.
And you coming with truth.
When you come with it, you give them that hope, all of that. But look, man, I'm finna tell you how the rubber meet the road.
Right. When you start talking about that funeral home, boy.
Come on, man. Come on, cause man, I'd have had to put too many young men into an early grave. I didn't have to sit there and just stare in amazement that how did we let this happen on our watch? Marcus Boo Man Brown, I never forget him. 6'4", 240 pounds, should be playing with Ole Miss somewhere, but he down here on a cold embalming table. How did we let this happen to this young man and all the coaches and stuff that he been around? Because all you cared about was when he was on the field or in practice. But you never cared about life after this. Your motives ain't pure. You just as bad as the Capitol Police that was supposed to have been holding the gate, but instead he had the gate open because he wanted the Proud Boys with the Capitol Police outfit on. Y'all come this way. Come this way. You get in easier back this way. He know the blueprint.
He the flip side of Harriet Tubman.
Man, come on, man. This window right here already loose. Hit this window.
Yeah, we loosed it up.
Yeah, this is loose right here. I did that last night.
Yeah.
You know, come on, man.
Yeah.
Who you got on your team?
Yeah.
Who you got on your team?
Now, my man that got relieved, I did read that. The Washington Capitol,
the Capitol Police, he need to been relieved. He should have said, "It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer."
It happened on his watch.
It happened on his watch. He should have, man. You done lost one of your own guys.
And we need to take that more personal. Whether you're an educator, whether you're a coach, whether you're a mentor,
wherever you at,
you need to take it.
Man, I just got mad at the garbage man. Because you know good and well you the garbage man. You know I got 8 bags out here. Yesterday was Christmas, or the other day was Christmas. You know we got plenty of bags. And here you don't want to pick the garbage up, and we good paying customers. You don't want to do the extra. Well, you don't want to do the extra.
But he mad because you in that house.
You should have knocked on the door. No, but you see me bag up out of there.
Right.
That's what the problem was.
Right.
You know, we got to get off this racism. Like I called 1400 this morning. Man, one thing we comment on, we all Americans. But we all Americans, okay? And one thing about it, if 1,000 the proud guys or whatever they call themselves can breach the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., what you think Iran, North Korea, and Russia and China thinking? 1,000 guys untrained, and here we got these Russian assassins over here.
Right.
And we listen to these chumps.
Yeah, but they let the cat out of the bag.
Come on, man.
They let the cat out of the bag.
Disappointing for any military guy that's served.
The other day just made it so plain how bad and how unbalanced it is.
Man.
I mean, Ray Charles could see this. And so it's really a negative because you can't nobody say, I mean, it was plain. It was plain as day. And so you can't even fake the
Black Lives Matter show up to the Capitol building. You got 5,000 Army troops there.
And
you got an Army base 5 minutes away.
But the Black Lives Matter, they was marching because we was getting killed. You know, they was looting and all that because we getting killed. Y'all tearing up the Capitol because you lost. That ain't the same.
They pulled.
Yeah, that ain't the same. How does that work?
Hey, they pulled some moves like some basketball games we used to play at Douglas Center. Guy get mad because he lost.
Right.
And somebody else said, man, look, man.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing but a game.
And then the poor lady lost her life. I think
that's
people
crazy.
Lost her life. I heard
and she was a veteran. She was a veteran.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Got sent off, got tricked, got caught up into a trick bag.
Hopefully she didn't have no kids.
Got caught up into a trick bag. Yeah. This man got a family defending his country in the highest police position.
Right.
But because of the fact that this man has divided us, he's found more things to divide us on.
To be similar.
Than to be similar. You got to set the example up top. You know, and if you don't know, put people on your team that can help you, that can better you, that can say, Mr. President, this. Or if you ain't even the President of the United States, hey, look, you're bored. You're bored. Put people on your board. I know a guy that's minister, he got rid of the mothers and the deacons because they want nobody to tell him nothing. It's his show, my way or the highway. Well, that mean that you got nothing to balance your stuff off on.
No accountability.
You asking questions and answering your own questions.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No accountability.
You asking questions and answering your own questions.
Lawlessness.
And now I'm not no Bible scholar, but I know good and well it's something in there, and I just came up with one. A man that can't be counseled, can't be helped. Thank you, AOH. Thank you, Bishop Wright, for instilling that in me. Because I know it's something in that word that's going to lead right in that direction. A man that can't be counseled, can't be helped. And too many of us don't want to counsel. Because most of the time I tell somebody something about they job insurance plan. I know. But see, one thing my brother did today, he on the job. And they sent him some insurance papers. He know that's the field I'm in. And he know I'm good at it. Man, what should I do? Man, get that cash value and get that other policy. Because what them 4 pages saying, you got some money up here. So the money on the wood, it's all good. But do you want to just let that go and just get this other policy? No, call them people and see if you got cash value still there. No, I need that. Run my cash value. But see, if you don't know better, you can't do better.
Yeah, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
If you don't know better, how you gonna operate better? If you don't know, if you don't be proactive and get yourself set up for the blessing, then you always stay bitter because it seems like everybody else moving but you.
And Sean, you have to set your affections on things of above, and that's a biblical scripture talking about God. But I even apply it to my everyday life.
Yes, sir.
And in order for me to set my affections on things of above or things down the road, we set up this financial literacy class.
Yeah.
We got a 6-year-old coming with her dad. We got a 9-year-old, right? And we got a 17, all the way up to 17. We got one going to college, been accepted to college.
LSU.
We got a couple of other seniors and juniors. But man, by the time we got to Robin Hood account, I was 54. You was
I'm
about
51.
Yeah. And so now, but we ain't mad, right? We're cutting 40 years off of the race.
Yeah,
right? For them.
Yeah.
And so I think so many people are caught up into themselves and their own, right? That you miss so many blessings because you got tunnel vision. All you worried about me and mine. I was challenged Christmas Eve. To leave my 3 teenage and 2 baby kids and my wife and go to Dallas and check on my kids and my grandkids and one of them at least I had never met. And so I'm like, Lord, is this really you telling me? And it was one of the greatest decisions that I made, right? but it was not a natural. It wasn't natural. It was unpopular. It was unpopular to me because it wasn't tradition. It wasn't the norm. Right? But I took out of here on faith. I got to St. Louis and got a little tired. I was going to drive all the way there. Man, I went to Lambert Airport and parked and got on the plane. But it was when I went through the door, my kids, my older kids, such a blessing, such a blessing. And I told my son-in-law, man, if I ain't here every 3 months, call me and slap me through the phone, right? Because you can get so tunnel vision, you know what I'm saying, that you forget. You know, you just forget. You call them, you love them, but man, they want to see you just like your kids see you. And then what I really said, what really made me go is it dropped in my spirit. Man, Boo Boop and Bam Bam got Christmas every day. Every day I walk in the house, it's Christmas. Now he can scoot and run now. You know, he following her, but it's every day I turn that key. I don't turn no key. Every day I just walk in the house, it's Christmas. Yeah. And so I was able to go, but my point is, man, I had to get out of myself. Yeah. And look at the big picture. You know, a lot of times we get frustrated because, you know, life just done gave us so many ups and downs, and we didn't gave up. And so we check this out. Let me say this real quick, and you're going to really be able to take off with this. We got the financial literacy class. And this COVID, I get it, you know, but they should be knocking the door down. But because a lot of the parents, this the views and opinions of Hub, because a lot of the parents don't know, right? Like you talked about, they don't know, then they just wave it off for the kids instead of saying, man, I don't know, but I want my kids to know. That's that tunnel vision. I don't care if you don't like me, right? I might not like you, but I'm gonna send my kid to get that information. Come on, man. Because man, I'm setting my affections on the big picture. Man, come on, man. Right? I might act local, but I'm gonna think global. Yeah, yeah. That's the rule. Think global, act local, right? Relationships around, but you got to think global. And so we got to get out of ourselves, get our own way. Right, and see things for where they really are. Because I really believe what you say. I'm gonna be honest to God. Tesla hit 880 today, and I sold it. And I sold it because you said on your show last night that when they shut the country down, it's gonna drop. Now if it go over 880, then I messed up. But last time I looked at it, it was 853. So I'm looking pretty good. Yeah. But I sold it based on your information last night. And so what I'm saying is, we have to, sometimes we can be in our own. Yeah, and so. And not only hurts us, but it hurts everybody. Yeah, and it's going to hurt their kids and their kids' kids, because you ain't did no different than the people before you. And so that's what hurts. And then we get so complacent, and our Saturday look like our Monday, and our Monday look like our Wednesday, and our Thursday look like our Friday, because we doing the same old thing. You know, and the devil get into all of us sometimes, because I was getting frustrated. Remember, you know, I got 2-3 people on the live, blah, 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 man, you need to stop doing it, this and that and this and that. One of the brothers called me, before we get off this program, I'll give you this testimony. One of the brothers called me from over in Peoria today. He said, man, I'm on the group chat with y'all in the stock market. I don't say nothing, but I've been learning. He said he used to be a hustler around here, but now he's doing things the right way. And so he says, I don't have the money I used to have, but every day after I spend my money and I get that change, I put the change up and I invest it into the stock market. And I've been able to make a little money, Sean. I'm learning. I'm watching everything you do. And last night you talked about LLCs, and I want to get involved in that, and how does it work at Peoria? So we've been vibing back and forth, you know. But those are the people. Those are the people that I want to be connecting with, right? Because there's folks around this country it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. They might not be what you might be polished all off, and some of the folks that you might want to partner up with and all this other type of stuff. That ain't the ones I want anyway, because you're going to be too arrogant. The Bible talks about a snarling in the nose, right? Arrogant. Haughty pride. There it go. There it go. It's that, you know, where you sit up there and you too much for your own good. My mama used to say, you smelling yourself. I want somebody that's willing to learn and eager to learn, that's gonna go get it and then give it away.
not sell it, give it away. And so I appreciate everything that we got going on, man. Bishop over there, I appreciate you, man. I really appreciate everything we got going on. Some closing remarks for you, bro?
Man, I just, you talked about a change coming, and I just think you need to be prepared for what's going to happen after COVID. And I've met so many people in prison that's got out and changed their lives. Rock, y'all gonna be hearing about Rock. We're trying to help Rock. He's gonna turn to be a fighter.
Oh man, my man Rock Keith.
But Rock Keith had a lot of time in jail to really get a plan together. And since the day he got out, he's been working the plan. He's asked me, Sean, a professor from the U of I, and some other great people to get on his team, and he wants to turn pro. And it takes money, so we're establishing a plan. But you don't have to go to prison, right, to get your plan together. We got a lot of time during this pandemic.
And we got a lot of talent in this community.
And now, you're supposed to be at home anyway, so take that time to pivot. Man, when they told me I couldn't sell no clothes, I had to close because all the mall closed, I said, man, Lord, what I'm gonna do? He said, sell masks. And and now it's 1,000 people selling masks now, but in March it was me and maybe one more, two more. Yeah. Right? And so the early bird got the worm. By the time I had sold 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 masks, then everybody got in. But I had got a good chunk, but I was able to pivot. Yeah. You got to be prepared when it happens. You can't be waiting. You got to be prepared to pivot. Yeah. And so that's what I would leave with them, because I really believe what you're saying. They might close it down when they get in office.
It's the only way we're going to clean it up.
And clean it up, and during that time, you need to be working on the master plan.
Hey, a change is going to come, but you got to be prepared for the change. You know, some amazing stuff about to happen that we haven't seen in the last 400 years, man, since we've been in America. And we finna see that change. We finna see that change happen right in our face. But we got to be prepared, and we got to be able to accept that and digest that change. So I thank the Lord for you. I thank the Lord for you, everybody that come up to us every day and say, man, keep up the good work, and thanks for watching another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. Peace.